Prosecution continued its case on Day 6 of the George Anthony Dominguez Jr. murder trial by calling a host of witnesses. Those who testified included Graham County Lead Investigator Sergeant Mark Smith, Arizona Department of Public Safety criminalist Keith Schubert, and forensic pathologist Dr. Cynthia Porterfield from the Pima County Medical Examiner's Office. As with earlier testimony from eyewitness Andy Whipple, who said the extent of the crime was not realized until he and Dominguez returned the next day, authorities also didn't realize the full extent until they increased their investigation the day after locating the body of William Whelan.
When did you actually determine that there was any holes in the blanket?
When we returned the next day to continue our investigation.
At this time on 142, did you see any blood on his clothing?
No, ma'am.
Did you notice those marks on the pillow?
Not necessarily at this time, but I did when we went back the next day.
Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
This is Mr. Whelan's body. Those were the holes in his clothing that we caught our attention.
Schubert took the stand and testified that the bullet fragments found inside Whelan's body came from Dominguez's SKS rifle. Defense attorney Michael B. Bernays questioned the validity of the test and pointed out that even the striations from test bullets didn't exactly match up.
When you're examining them, what are you looking for?
Well, the first thing I'm looking for are the class characteristics that I described to you, the number of lands and grooves, the direction that it twists the bullet right or to the left, and also the widths of those lands and grooves.
And when you were comparing the test fire to the items submitted, the projectiles that were submitted by the Graham County Sheriff's Office, were you able to make an identification?
Yes, I was.
And from that, were you able to determine whether or not that jacket fragment was fired from that SKS?
Yes, it's my opinion that this bullet jacket was fired from that submitted SKS finding.
So even though these were fired within seconds of each other from the exact same weapon, each standing there pulling the trigger on each of them, we still see differences in the striations.
Yes, sir.
After lunch, jurors heard from Dr. Porterfield, who described the damage caused by the bullet fragments and stated it was the official cause of death.
In this case, when you first received the body, you actually had an x-ray?
Yes,
And is that before you even opened the body from the body bag?
that's correct. The x-ray showed that he still had two projectiles in his tissues.
The prosecution's case continues Thursday before the trial has a 4-day respite for an extended weekend. The last week of scheduled testimony will then begin on Tuesday. This is John Johnson reporting from Safford for the Eastern Arizona Courier.